Hi, welcome to another episode of the Pierce Brothers. Today we'll be taking a look at something that I've been looking forward to for a little over a year now, is the Savage Crucible Wave 1, the Lemurians. So I was one of the backers in this Kickstarter when it first started. There will be a few questions I want to ask today, which is 1, was it worth the wait? 2, is the price worth it? 3, how customizable? And 4, overall, how good of figures are they? So it's going to start taking a look at the box that it was all shipped in. At the top here, Savage Crucible and Harvinger Studios as a brands. On every side, there's a different faction within the story of the realm of the Savage Crucible. On the front side here, we have the Lemurians, kind of like their logo artwork. Don't know what you really call it, but then on the next side is the Harbinger of the Abyss, which he'll be in Wave 3. I did back him as well. So once that arrives, I'll make sure to do another video then. The Pronoids, which I did back all of them. Yeah, I think I backed the entire wave, actually. The last slide is a wave that's yet to be revealed. I can't tell if it's some type of goat demon or a dragon, but whatever it is, hopefully it'll be cool. So without further ado, let's go and crack this open and see what it's like. So at this point currently, I have seen a lot of the pictures people have posted them online. They all look really good. They seem to be really good, high quality figures. Paint apps seem to hold up compared to the artwork that they first sent out. Okay. Some information about what was ordered. A lot of packing, so keep it safe. So, okay, it looks like the first one is the Armory pack. As we can see, there's a lot of different accessories in there. Weapons, blades, heads, extra arms. Which I will definitely make good use of this with the rest of the wave. That aside. Okay, so it looks like on this is the Ninvillamere from the box. Side, the back, there's a little bio talking about what Savage Crucible is. And it looks like these are the type that can pop open like so. And here's a good look at the first figure as an Ninvillamere, which there's an extra head in the Armory pack, and I probably will swap that out because I'm not a fan of like the base head, but we'll see if that changes all. Okay, the second pack is called the, what is it, the Huntsman pack, which there's an entire set of armor in there, a bunch of blades, again, some extra heads and arm accessories for the other figures in the wave. And just so you know, I did get everything in this first wave except for the Lemurian slate. At the time, I didn't feel it was necessary, but now I'm kind of, oh, that looks cool. So here's the Imperial Sentry. In my opinion, this looks a lot better in person than all the figures and pictures have been posted online, which hopefully I can do that figure justice in this video today, but this will mainly just be a quick unboxing, first impressions and thoughts. I will show the Huntsman Armory, how swappable all the parts are on these figures. So, okay, here is Como of the Isles, which is another one that the head I'm not the biggest fan of, so I will swap it out with one of the heads that come in the extra packs. But yeah, I think his armor looks a lot, and his sword too. Yeah, that all looks a lot better in person than the pictures online have shown. Hopefully that turns out. Oh, the Lemurian Savage. So this one that I will be putting the. Okay, this one's actually one of the more basic figures, but this is one that I will put the Huntsman armor on in the video. So this I'll be demonstrating on him mainly the customization of the entire wave. And the last one, which is one that I will definitely won't be checking out anything at all, is looks like a sword popped out of the packaging there, the Royal Guard. Which, in my opinion, this is one of the figures that looks the best in this wave. Very striking armor. His scale pattern looks very neat. But yeah, that's all that is in this box for now. Okay. So now, I'm going to set all that aside. And, well, let's just start with this. Actually, let's start with the Royal Guard. Which, yeah, I think this is the main figure I've been looking forward to in this first wave here. I remember seeing something online that said to check, oh, there it is, said to check behind the map in the box. Something in there. Let's see. Looks like each figure comes with a card. Oh, that looks cool. So a bit of artwork there. Little shiny card. There is some stats on, yeah, a bunch of stats and stuff on the back, which honestly, just the artwork on the front, I think really makes that cool to have. Display that alongside him. Nice. There's a lot of nice paint apps on this guy. Articulation's really good from what I can tell so far. And each foot even has the toe hinge, so that just opens up the possibility for posing even further. Okay, so now I'm going to go and quickly open up the rest of them, then we can cut to once I'm done there, then we can take a look at each figure. So there's my Nin Villamere, which I will say that I like the head a lot better in person and from what I saw in all the pictures online. Which, yeah, like the armor alone, there's like kind of like an effect to it. It's like a bronzy effect on like all the rougher edges on it. The actual head itself, just like the other one, jaw does open up. All have good paint apps there. When the scales, those all look good. Does have the swiveling tail just like the Royal Guard. With him, he only comes with the two weapons, a bigger curved sword and a smaller like medium sword or almost like a large dagger, I'd say. And with him, he does come with this little potion as well, which, and just like the Royal Guard, there are little holes in various parts on his armor you can connect things. Next up, we'll do the Imperial Sentry. Okay, so now that I have the Royal Sentry, or Imperial Sentry, I should say, he is in like a almost dueling position. There's a lot of cool paint apps on him, like the reddish and orange, some black stripes on him. Another thing about him that's cool is his sword is like a translucent, it'll make it look like it's glowing hot, which I think worked quite well here. Although as cool as that looks, I think I will change out his weapon for one of the weapons that's in the, what is it, the armory pack, I think it is. But there's 3 of them down. Came with 2 of the curved blades. He's almost like the exact same as the Royal Guard. The only difference is that he's just like a specialty color. And with him, he is one where you can only get him 3 ways, either through the Kickstarter, through certain events such as like Comic Cons or things like that, wherever the Harvinger Studios brand would be going, or through contests. And with him, the card that he came with was not actually one for him, but it was for the Savage. I find that interesting. And even with the Nin Villamere, his card was for the Royal Sentry, so it's very much just like a each one is a random figure. I just kind of lucked out on the first one because it matches the same figure that came with. So we have those 3 so far. Now let's go and get the Como. Okay. So now that I have Como of the Isles out of his box, he actually looks a lot cooler in person than I was expecting him to. But he has a sword that has like the paint on it look like it's glowing hot as well. There's that really cool axe that looks like the core of it is almost heated up. Even all the scales and armor that he's wearing, it looks like he killed some kind of a beast. Now he wears its bones and like hide as his armor instead. Now with him, the card that he came with is actually a version of him, but as the head up from one of the packs. Which this is actually the head that I wanted to swap. This is one that I wanted to swap out as well. But yeah, it calls this one the Croaking Hybrid, which I find pretty cool. But yeah, there's another card. But yeah, he does look really cool, so I'm glad about that. I'm gonna go and set him. Oh, another thing about him is that his tail is like significantly shorter than the other ones, showing that he is like definitely a different species. But yeah, definitely a cool one. And his stripes on his back, I think my hand is kind of covering that, but his are blue, so I do like the look of that altogether. So I'm going to set him here. Okay, he stands up. He did come with a little pouch as well, some type of a water canteen or something. And just like the others, he did come with an extra set of hands. So if you want to swap those out for the ones that he has those as well, which so far my impressions are pretty high of this entire wave. So I'm going to do the last figure, then after that I'm going to do the 2 armory packs, but let's go and crack into the Lemurian Savage. Okay, so now we have Limerine Savage out of the box. This is like the most basic one we have here, just because there's no armor on him. So this will give us the best look at the bodies without any armor on that we have currently. With him, he has some really cool paint apps, which for a basic figure that's meant to be customized by armor or swapping out other parts of the others, definitely a good job all around. With him, his tail is different because it's just a singular stiff piece and doesn't have like multiple joints out for posability. Then with him, he comes with a very different weapon from the others, which is almost like a type of a jawbone attached to like a sword or something, almost like a broken sword. But yeah, it definitely looks like something that some savage warrior would use. So now, and with him, just like the others, he does come with... Oh, doesn't want to stand up. There we go. Okay, and just like the others, he does come with extra hands as well. So you can either have gripping hands or the open hands. Those are in front of him. And the card they came with is one that matches him. The Draconic Savage as it calls, but I just call him Limerine Savage. And this is the same one that came with the Royal Guard as well. So this does tell me that the guards are completely random. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is pop them in both of the Armory and the Huntsman packs. I'll review each one of those, kind of show you what's inside of each one. Let's start with the Armory pack. I'll explain to you in detail about which head goes with which figure, arms, joints, all that jazz. So without further ado, let's crack this open. And oh, let's also see if these come with cards. Oh, they do come with cards. So it's not just the figures, even the Armory packs come with cards. So let's get that. There's that. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot that comes in the Armory pack. So first of all, you can see here, there's a scroll that can go to most of the figures. A knife goes into any of them. The top head here, that goes with the Nin Villamere figure. So if you're not a fan of his head, you can definitely swap that out, which I know the company definitely had that stuff in mind. So that way, if like you got a figure you didn't like the head so much, you got a head, one of the packs, you can not only change out the weapons, but all the heads as well. So head goes with Nin Villamere. Handcuffs can go with any of them. The center head here with the frilled gills, or like, I don't know what you call it, like the frilled neck piece, I guess. That goes with the... Yeah, it does look like a Dilophosaurus, doesn't it? But yeah, so that goes with the Royal Guard. This one over here, it's almost like a dinosaur head. This one actually goes to the Conclusive Sentry. So if you ever have a chance to get him, or if you did get him through the Kickstarter, this head goes to him. This over here, which is Dilophosaurus head with the crest and everything, that one goes to... Yes, it goes to the Savage. Then there's some armor pieces here, which realistically, those don't have to go to anyone in particular, but the closest one that they currently match in terms of color and everything would be the Royal Sentry. But like I said, the armor pieces are meant to be exchanged on these, so you can customize them in whatever way you want to. There's also two cool weapons. There's like this, like, I want to say scythe, but like not really. So yeah, that's like a pretty cool looking weapon. And this one over here, double bladed one, so that's pretty cool. And oh, also this pack also came with some extra shins and forearm pieces. So if you want to change out the armor to make one of these guys not have as much armor, this pack comes with the pieces to do that. So that's very handy in my opinion. Now, the other half of the same pack, it comes with the forearm and shin pieces for the Royal Guard, a cool shield, staff, a whole bunch of different swords. Like even this one here that came with the Conclusive Sentry and the Royal Guard. You get those in just like basic gold and silver color. You got a few new blades that didn't come with any of them. One that is a scythe, and oh wait, what's that? Okay, there's some type of little piece here. I'm not sure what that's for, but oh, actually, that might be to attach the shield to the back. Yeah, that's to attach the shield back because there's a handle there. Looks like that handle can be popped out and put on the back of any of them. But yeah, so there's that first little pack. Then the second pack, the one that's called the Huntsman pack. Let's go and take a look at that. See what all it comes with. First of all, a card, of course. Or I guess pull it out first and then the card. Now, if you ever want to open these up, I recommend using a knife. Along the top here, you can kind of feel where the card ends. So just chop to the center, over, peel off the rest. So the last card I'll be getting is, okay, another one of the Conclusive Century. So there's that, which, okay, that aside. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot happening with this one. So on the top here, it looks like they kind of split up a number of shins, but these shins go to the Como of the Isles as well as Nin Villamere, so you want to make either of them have less armor. There are the shins and arm pieces do so. This one comes with some of the similar blades as the last pack, but a lot of these have blood on them, and they're more of like a gold all around. There's also like this mask piece, or yeah, it's like a mask piece that looks like, I believe it can go on whichever one of the Lemurians you want to make it to. There's also like a bone necklace, a whip down here, a scythe with more spikes on the outside of it. So yeah, that's definitely a lot of useful accessories. Then on the front half of the same one, this one comes with a lot of stuff for armor and extra heads as well. So first down here, a loincloth piece, a chest piece, so you got like the pattern going on. This top piece here is like a hide that's meant to be worn on the back. So on the back of some of these were, let's use him as an example. There's the two sword holders. You pop those out, then that looks like it plugs right into there, which I will demonstrate the swapping armor on the Lemurian Savage. Back to this, there's a little bone, like a rope with a bunch of different species of heads on. It looks like a few human, then like a, can't tell if it's another Lemurian or like a vampire, some things there. Another one of the frilled heads, but the neck piece is not actually open. Another one of the dinosaur heads goes to the Lemurian Savage. This is one that goes to the Como of the Isles, which I do want to swap out that head with the one that's on him, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. Then the leg and armor pieces and loincloth, but so yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and swap out these pieces. Some of the other figures here, the ones that I really want to swap out, then we'll go over all of them one last time. Okay, so now that I have everything complete out of the box, parts exchange and whatnot, here's kind of like the extra weapons and armor pieces. So this 4 or 5 pieces of armor here, they all go together, which some arm guards, leg pieces, the, what is that, like loincloth? Yeah, I guess loincloth technically, but it is armor. With this part here, it's definitely pretty easy to change out. You just pop the figure in half, slide off the old one, slide on that one, then pop them back together. Now with all the, I can't think. Okay, so with each of the forearm pieces and the shin pieces, what I had to do was actually get some hot water. I had to like run this in the microwave for a few minutes. Then after that, you just like basically take each one. So you can see on the inside there, it's like this one here, there's an R, as you can see pretty well there. But basically you do is like, that kind of matches the size. So like if I want to change out on this guy over here, I just like, okay, so obviously this line's R, that means it goes on the right leg. You just dunk in the first part here in the hot water for like, I'd say about 10 seconds, pull it out. That makes it a lot easier to like slide the new part in essentially, because right now that hole is still pretty tight. So you just got to do that to make it a little warm so it's loosened up. Then it's pretty easy to change out the parts in. Same goes for the bottom, but I will say the ankle portion is a lot easier to change out. Yeah, like same goes for the arm pieces. Now next up is like this little piece here. There's a few of these that I did attach one to him. It's like this little, the rope with all the heads on it. There's that one. There's some handcuffs over here and a scroll over here. And of course on various figures, they did come with sword holders that was already attached. But what I recommend doing is, so we're going to take this armor piece here, for instance. There's a little hole there. I recommend attaching these before you actually attach it to the figure. You just want to line it up like so, and just put a little bit of pressure. Doesn't take much, but a lot easier to do before it's on the figure, because after you do, you're fighting not only the figure, but the pieces are trying to like, fold it back to push it in. But yeah, I highly recommend attaching these before you put it onto the figure. Now next up here is the little shield piece, which is pretty cool. It's meant to be held on, kind of like on the side, like this almost. But yeah, so there's this little piece here, which this pops off. Then this little part here goes in. This is for same things just as like with the whip piece here. If you look on some of the backs, that is meant to like go in there and attach like so. But yeah, realistically, I kind of want to get some more of these to make like a gladiator figure. using the armor pieces, the shield piece, and a few of these other cool weapon pieces here, which this one here came with both the different types of guards, a really nice gold and silver sword, a bunch of different accessories here, which, so the ones that came in the Huntsman pack, most, if not all of the weapons there have a little bit of like a blood stain on there. Definitely meant to be like truly like a Huntsman, whereas the rest of these are more of like a Royal Guard armory. Like they haven't quite been used yet, or they were just like cleaned. This is actually one of my more favorite blades that it came with, which I don't want to implement that into a figure at some point in time. But yeah, so now we'll go and take a look at what all I changed on all the figures here, which quick little overview from the back. So now let's go and take a look at the Royal Guard. The only thing I really did different with him was swap out the old sword holder, put this here, put the two curved swords on the back, which in my opinion made sense for now, just like the one heavy sword and two lighter swords. And with him, that's the only thing that really changed out, because to me, this is such a cool looking figure where it's kind of unnecessary to change everything else. Now with him, so these guys here, like the feet don't exactly want to stay up the best, but a little bit of playing around with them, you can figure out a good point of balance for each one. Now with him, he did come with, or the accessory packs came with an extra head for him, movable jaw. And another thing is that the heads are the easiest thing to swap out for sure. They pop off, pop on very easily. He did come with, the accessory packs came with some of the shin and forearm pieces. So yeah, like I said, or altogether actually, the accessory packs came with enough pieces to make every single figure have less armor on essentially, so they're almost naked. But next one up would be Nin Villamir. With him, the only thing I changed out was the head, which in my opinion, this one's way cooler. Looks kind of like a gladiator with like the armor going over the eyes, the holes in there and stuff. But yeah, like in my opinion, like changing out the head makes it a lot cooler. But I will say that the head that he came with from the base figure was a lot cooler than I was expecting. Because online, the pictures of they just don't do him justice much. Now with the conclusive sentry, the two things that I changed out was the headpiece. I changed out one of the more dinosaur heads. I felt like it was much more menacing, which does a lot of justice to him. I did put on the handcuffs on him as well, because I was like, well, if he's a guard, it makes sense that he have cuffs on. I also gave him one of the cool like pole arm weapon from one of the accessory packs. But yeah, overall, I think that gives him quite a few cool upgrades. The next one, come over the aisles. The only thing I swapped out was the head, which is a Dilophosaurus head. I kind of wish that his tail was longer, but in my opinion, changing out the head like that does a lot of justice for him. Now, obviously, like I said, I was going to mainly use the Savage to swap out the armor pieces from the Huntsman pack. And as you saw before, he's kind of pretty plain, but now this just added a lot more depth to him, which I put the skulls on there, gave him one of the bloody tools from the Huntsman pack. Even these shoulder pieces, like, they're actually soft, but the part that actually attaches is like a ball joint that's a harder plastic, which, yeah, that was kind of a little bit of pain, but not as bad as the arm pieces. Also that cool necklace there. But yeah, I also swapped out the head as well, which, and with him, like, actually came with a few different heads in the accessory packs. Main two would be this Dilophosaurus head, then the frilled lizard head, which, yeah, that goes to him. Yeah, like both of these, very cool upgrades that just really, I really love this line because it really allows for a lot of room of customization. But yeah, like overall, you can do so much with all these. You can completely change armor pieces from one to the next. You can get, yeah, like I highly recommend this line. Okay, so at the beginning I asked 3 questions. The first one was it worth the wait? I do believe this was very much so worth the wait. The overall quality, the customization, paint apps, everything is above and beyond the price point that I paid, because during the Kickstarter is not even $40 a figure. And each one of these is just absolutely phenomenal, which for the first line in this series, I think they absolutely blew it out of the water. And with just the addition of 2 armory packs in addition to the base figures, you get so much extra stuff here. It's just mind-blowing. Like, you can customize them any way you want to, all that stuff. And obviously that brings us to the next question, which is price point. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Which these are only on sale on the website for a little bit longer. Than after that, they'll be going to other retailers such as Big Bad Toy Store, a few other exclusive places. I don't have a list on hand. But yeah, and I can't remember what the third question was, but overall, I'm very pleased with this line. I think that if they do another Kickstarter for the next few waves after Wave 3, I'm definitely going all in and helping to back that line as well. And yeah, like, I highly recommend this. That pretty much brings this episode to a conclusion. I kind of felt like I talked a lot a few times in there, but there's a lot to cover here. And overall, I'm very happy with this. So thank you for tuning into this episode of the Pierce Brothers. I'll see you next time when I cover another nerd-related item. But yeah, thanks for watching.